A trillion gazillion.
Have you thought of 2 trillion gazillions?
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the most unique times a UK's Taskmaster contestant thought outside the box for a task and impressed the audience. To make the list, the ingenuity has to be legal. The lateral thinking couldn't have annoyed Greg Davies or Alex Horne so much that the contestant got disqualified.
You wouldn't have done the same in that situation?
No, I like to play for fun.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 20, Paul Sinner's Easy Finish, aquatic sewing machine. Known for being a destructive quiz machine on the chase, Paul the Cinnamon Sinner joined the Taskmaster crowd for Series 8.
Only water can touch the beach ball. No.
For the task, make this beach ball cross the finish line, contestants had to move a beach ball to the finish line the fastest by only using water to touch the object. Rather than haphazardly spray the ball with a hose, Sinner decided to make the task far easier.
Can I get you anything?
My dignity.
He took the finish line and brought it closer, only requiring a fraction of the spraying power to finish the task. However, the time Sinner spent rebuilding the finish line caused him to finish with 4 points, as Ian Sterling skipped the course to take top place. Number 19, Alice LaVines' Big Bubble, The Bubble Brothers. Upon hearing the title of the task, make the biggest bubble and burst it with your nose, most folks were picturing making an air pocket with washing up liquid.
You have 10 minutes. Your time starts now.
After all, pretty much every participant did, but not radio DJ LaVine. Joining the Taskmaster cast in Series 6, she went about making a massive bubble from a black bin bag, successfully arguing that a bubble is essentially a ball of air with a membrane.
Oh God.
With a lot of effort, LaVine managed to pop the bag with pins taped to her nose.
Yep, it definitely popped it.
Oh,
Look at that.
The presenter's bubble came to a whopping 50 centimetres, over double the next biggest with Liza Tarbuck's 20.3 centimetre attempt, earning LaVine 5 points. Number 18, Ryan Clark's Unique Perspective, The Fastest Duck. Sometimes Greg Davey likes to cause havoc with his judgment, and in this case, we're siding with him due to the ingenuity involved. In 2021, the first Taskmaster's New Year Treat series aired that featured non-comedians battling it out. For the solo episode contest, TV presenter Clark used his noggin in the task. Get the biggest thing through the donut.
Get in the bush, a bit further. Are you in?
With the plastic cow statue that Clark named Linda after his mum, he used forced perspective camera trickery to make it look like the hefty item went through the treat. At 800 million cubic centimetres, it was the biggest by far, with 9,000 in second place. With the temptation of annoying the internet, Davies let it count and gave Clark 5 points.
Yeah, he got the cow through the donut. Come at me.
Number 17, Tim Keys' Ice Vanishing, down an octave. Now, while Davies can make stellar decisions, he can also make terrible ones. In the first series, the contestants were given the task: make this ice block disappear as fast as possible.
What's disappeared?
It's when you can't see them anymore.
Do you want it melted?
The self-explanatory mission had the majority melt it with hot water and or smash it to bits. But Key had another idea. Using a wheelbarrow, he took it to the river and lobbed the block in. After 13 minutes and 40 seconds, Alex couldn't see the ice anymore. So, with the next quickest time coming in at 17 minutes and 4 seconds, Key should have been held aloft for his inventiveness.
I think stop the clock! Horne!
It's disappeared.
It's gone!
It's disappeared.
Instead, Davies decided it would take the ice an hour to melt and put him in last place, making this the biggest Taskmaster scandal ever. Number 16, Johnny Vegas watches himself. Hippopotamus. Alex has perhaps never looked as creepy as he was for this task. In Series 10, the contestants had to draw the animal that is watching you. With the caveat that they couldn't leave the room, the animal was wearing a hat, and they had to keep looking at the mirror.
So you're saying you're the animal in the hat watching yourself?
Well, I'm looking, there's a mirror.
With the real animal hidden behind the mirror with a switch that cost them time, Vegas didn't search for the supposed object as he realised he was both an animal and wearing a hat. So he did a self-portrait.
I'm all right, but then when I go to the other side,
It's not working!
With impressive artistic skills, considering Vegas had to look in the mirror, he pulled off a very good drawing, so much so that he netted 5 points. Number 15, Sally Phillips' special delivery. Their water's so delicious. When a task involved a camera, actor Phillips knocked it out of the park in Series 5. After all, her intimate water cooler clip and the birthing of adult little Alex Horne were iconic. But apparently, coconuts are another forte of hers.
I may not touch the ground, but you may touch the ground, Alex.
As everyone struggled not to touch the ground for get this coconut as far from here as possible, Phillips remained seated and got Alex to send hers to the Prime Minister of Fiji.
Good luck. Quickly. Speed.
Right. Prime Minister of Fiji.
However, because coconuts are restricted by Fiji, the package stayed at the post office, but hope isn't lost. Due to the building being 1.1 miles or 1,770 metres away, Phillips destroyed Bob Mortimer's second place of 33 metres to get 5 points.
1 mile away in East Sheen. 5 points to Sally Phillips.
Yeah. Clearly 5 points.
Number 14, Noel Fielding gets in the fruit bowl, hollowing out a baguette.
Task. Didn't see that.
With shows like The Mighty Boosh and a long history of surrealist comedy, Fielding in Taskmaster was always going to be a spectacle. Appearing in Series 4, Fielding's standout work for the task, Camouflage Yourself, contestants had 10 minutes to hide themselves and another 10 to stage the photo. When Fielding's interior caravan photo was displayed, we were really confused, as nothing looked out of the ordinary.
He is there?
He is there.
OK, I don't know. I don't know where Noel is.
And then, after zooming in on the fruit bowl, we see a little waving Fielding mimicking a banana.
Let's have a look at where Noel is.
Using a green screen and his yellow costume to appear like the fruit, he bamboozled Davies, earning him 5 points. Number 13, Sitting Bridget Christie. The 75th question. You have to love literal thinking when it comes to Taskmaster. In Series 13, the record the highest number on this pedometer task was handed out. Most of the contestants did the obvious. Complete some exercise or utilise objects to mimic movements to trick the pedometer for 20 minutes. Chris Ramsey nearly gave himself heat stroke with his attempt.
I am stepping, look. Step, 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 step.
Christie first tried some super weird, unsuccessful movements, but then she had a light bulb moment. She sat on the pedometer and then recorded herself on her phone saying the largest number she knew, 11 trillion gazillion.
A trillion gazillion.
Have you thought of 2 trillion gazillions?
While the gazillion part wasn't included since it's a made-up figure, 11 trillion was accepted, which destroyed second place at 2,789 steps.
5 to Bridget Christie.
There it is!
Number 12, Mel Gedroich's store success, Spatchcock It. It's always fun watching the contestants read the task multiple times to try and understand it or figure out a loophole.
Get this camel. Get this camel through the small. Get this camel through the small.
When comedian and presenter Gedroich did just that, we could practically see the cogs in her noggin turn. In Series 4, the contestants were given 10 minutes to get this camel through the smallest gap. The men, for some reason, went with destroying the camel cuddly toy to squeeze it through things. Gedroich had another idea. She took the teddy to the shop Baby Gap and ran through the building with it clutched in her hands. She made it out with 12 seconds to spare. Because Gedroich took it through Gap's smallest brand, technically doing the task, she got 5 points.
Yes, yes.
Number 11, Rod Gilbert turns the tables. I can hear it gooping. There may not be as chaotic a contestant as the Welshman. If he wasn't mocking Davies with his childhood or that picture of him, he was making little Alex Horne incredibly uncomfortable.
Tie yourself up as securely as possible.
In Series 7, we had tie yourself up as securely as possible, with the goal that the slowest time it takes Alex to untie a contestant wins. But rather than do what's expected, Gilbert tied Alex and later his own hands.
Have we done this before?
Yeah.
However, an earlier task, put on a boiler suit and lie flat on the ground, came into play. If he hadn't forgotten about the klaxon's meaning, Gilbert might have been first in both. Instead, he had to settle for winning the tying and coming second in the boiler suit.
I'll get you.
Number 10, Catherine Parkinson's coconut extraction.
If you use the same coconut water extraction method as another contestant, you will both be disqualified.
Taskmaster wouldn't be the show it was without the hilarity of watching celebrities fail miserably at simple tasks. In Series 10, the contestants were presented with various tools to help them extract a tablespoon of water from a coconut as fast as possible, but not before adding one final fruity twist. Some decided to smash it open, believing everyone else would be too concerned with choosing a less obvious method, but this was hardly an original thought.
We have some in the kitchen. It's not breaking any rules, is it?
Catherine Parkinson, however, headed to the fridge and conveniently found a carton of coconut water to drink with ease.
Well, my extraction method was I went to the fridge.
Oh, right, let's see. Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Her unique interpretation of extraction won her points for style, as well as the top spot in the task despite not being the quickest. Number 9, Maan Rizwan's Bin Juice Cocktail.
Yo.
Also during Series 10, everyone was given the straightforward task of making the prettiest and tastiest cocktail with the coolest name. But they had to achieve all of this without making a noise over 60 decibels, around the same volume as a normal conversation. The assortment of glassware, metal utensils, and ice proved to be a noisy cocktail in itself, and with every mistake, they had to pour their hard work into the bin and shout a phrase.
I'm so sorry.
Louder.
I'm so sorry!
Louder.
I'm so sorry!
Lovely.
Maan Rizwan turned this unfortunate fate to his advantage though. As his bin filled with more and more ingredients, Mawan's bespoke bin juice cocktail was born for Alex to enjoy, or at least try to. Number 8, the contestants hack charades.
It's a book!
In the finale of the 3rd series, the celebs split into groups to play charades with a few added rules. Wearing foam fingers at all times, and with a 500-foot river separating them, was more than enough to grind their gears. Dave Gorman decided that acting out his cards would be too much work, instead recruiting adventurer and TV presenter Ben Fogle, who just happened to be passing by for a photo shoot.
Learn the Witch in the Wardrobe.
Mad Max!
Mad Max.
Winnie the Pooh!
Winnie the Pooh.
While the rules stated that the contestants may not raise their voices, that didn't apply for those not involved in the game, meaning Ben could shout every answer across the river, bagging the team an impressive score of 19 out of 20.
How handy that Ben Fogle.
Number 7, Al Murray takes a pea on a journey. The Series 3 contestants were asked to propel a pea the furthest distance, to land and remain on a red carpet. While the majority began flinging their pea with no particular technique, Rob Beckett noted that propel simply meant to move something with force or drive, and proceeded to stroll around the garden with the pea in a wheelbarrow for 414 metres.
Oh! So 406 plus another 8 metres.
However, it was Al Murray who took this ambiguous definition much further, quite literally, as he rolled his pea in the red carpet and heaved it into a taxi, travelling up the motorway for nearly 18 miles.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, making a lot of progress. 16 miles.
The £150 cab journey was a small price to pay for Taskmaster success.
Oh, yes!
It remained on the carpet, Al.
Number 6, Rasheen and Tim utilise Alex. Show creator Alex Horne oversees all tasks and often calls the shots when it comes to fair play, but being in the vicinity of the contestants can lead to grim circumstances. In Series 1, when Rasheen Connaty and Tim Key had to guess the contents of 5 pies without breaching them, they realised that the rules didn't technically apply to Alex.
What about if you taste it and based on your reaction, I decide what pie you're eating? I haven't broken the rules.
Rasheen ordered Alex to taste the pies and guessed what might be inside based on his reaction. However, she created her own hurdles by not looking at him as he ate them. Tim used the superior method of asking him to smash the pies so he could see what was inside, allowing him to win the task comfortably.
And I can try to unscrew it?
Yeah, unscrew it, yeah. Yeah.
Number 5. Richard Osman's grammatical interpretation. As die-hard fans of Taskmaster will know, deciphering the exact words written on the instructions is key. The wording of one task in Series 2 caused some controversy.
Place these 3 exercise balls on the yoga mat.
On the top of that hill.
Some enlisted help from the public, while others were more full-on, rolling and kicking the balls up the hill with varying amounts of success. For Richard Osman, reading the instructions a second time revealed an obscure use of grammar, and he resolved that he could collect the mat and take it directly to the exercise balls at the foot of the hill.
Oh, no.
Quite steep, isn't it, Richard?
Yeah. I was so tempted to use this as a sledge. Done.
After a confused call to lexicographer Susie Dent, it was confirmed this was a valid understanding of the instructions, and Richard got to enjoy Taskmaster success and a less intense workout.
She finishes by saying, I'd say how Richard decided to understand it is unusual, but not impossible.
No.
Number 4. Joelys's 0-second victory. Series 4 of Taskmaster brought us both hilarious and impressive moments, and what greater way is there to outsmart the Taskmaster than completing a task before it has even begun?
Just feel like I might need them.
That's exactly what Joelys did during a tiebreaker task in episode 7. After entering the lab, he saw a jar of mayonnaise covered in Vaseline and predicted exactly what the task would be. He then opened the jar before even reading the instructions.
You do whatever you want, Jack.
Although guessing the nature of the task was quite straightforward, it was a stroke of genius by Joe to be proactive and complete it before anyone could start a timer. This allowed him to win the task in an unbeatable 0 seconds. It doesn't get much better than that. Number 3. Mark Watson sheds some light. Taskmaster is extra special when a contestant manages to be clever yet still execute the task terribly. Series 4 contestant Hugh had many memorable moments, notably his clever solution to drawing someone he couldn't look at directly by getting a mirror from the house. Mark Watson in the following series, however, swiftly asserted his dominance when tasked with painting a rainbow in a dark room, with only glow-in-the-dark brushes and paint pots.
Yeah, so when I draw on there, I'm not going to be able to see anything at all. That's the fun of the task.
Why not?
It's too dark.
Ah.
While everybody struggled, Mark did an obvious thing that everyone missed. He turned on the light.
I don't think it probably is, but it'd be silly if we not to at least try. I didn't say I can't turn the light on. That does help. Is that against the rules?
Well, it's a lot easier like this.
It's much easier, actually, yes. This is why normally we have lights.
Yet, like Hugh, Mark still managed to create questionable art, despite his astuteness.
It's worse than what we did in the dark.
Even so, his light bulb moment had the other contestants kicking themselves for not being so sharp. Number 2. Keep Alex dry. Tasks requiring effective teamwork often best reveal how well contestants respond under pressure. One team set themselves apart in Series 6 during a mission to keep Alex dry while he sat under a shower that would turn on after 2 minutes.
Let's keep it off his feet there.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, we got a lot on his trousers, yeah.
His back is going to be dry.
His front isn't though, is it?
Yeah.
While the first team haphazardly covered him in bin bags and other items in a mostly failed attempt, the second team calmly considered their options. They eventually disconnected the hose from the shower, establishing a safe distance between Alex and the flowing water.
So
Don't touch Alex at any point though.
feels like he's going to be
Great work.
Or we could just turn the hose off. If we disconnect it, make it go over here.
The even had time to make him a dry martini, as well as point hairdryers at him, resulting in an even drier Alex than at the beginning, and leaving the Taskmaster thoroughly impressed.
We're going to hairdryer you as well.
The shower is on.
Yeah, well, it looks like you're pretty dry, eh?
Number 1. Hugh Dennis's basketball on a treadmill. Taking our top spot is the moment in Series 4 where Hugh Dennis gave it his all to achieve a time score in a task that was completely unsurpassable.
Hang on.
In order to keep a basketball on a running treadmill for as long as possible, forbidden to touch both the basketball and the treadmill, Hugh covered the basketball with a large tub for stability as the treadmill began to speed up. This proved to be effective, but he decided he could do one better by asking Alex to bring the extension cable to him so he could pull the plug and cease the entire operation. With his basketball spending an extraordinary 4 months unmoved, he was much deserving of his round of applause. If you could add any professional sports person as a contestant in Taskmaster, who would you pick? Peter Crouch, Alex Scott, Phil Tufnell, or someone else? Let us know down below.
Hang on.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.